Hey guys, it's Tim from the Board Game Rundown, and I am here with the mustached Meeple himself, and I bet you can't guess why they call him that. This is Jason Rodriguez. I got that right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
good. I was like, oh man, did I blow that already right out the gate? No, you've got a channel. I always play yellow.
Yeah.
Working on it.
Yeah, working on it. It's brand new. It's like barely has presence. So
far.
this is like
so far.
This is right.
We're
This
gonna
is
get
the
you
beginning.
3 more subs at least.
Nice.
We call it the
nice.
rundown bump. Jason's been demoing like right down the way from us over at Paverson Games, doing distilled and stuff, and we've kind of been talking a little bit off and on every day. And you do a lot of cons, right? You do.
So Origins is the biggest one because it's relatively local to me.
Sure.
And in the past it's been renowned for its size, and
Right.
people come from all over the United States, even the world, really, to come here, which is kind of cool. So I get to come here. I practically plan every year to be here.
Yeah. Do you work for different booths all the time?
Yeah. So there's a group called Envoy and
Double
Double Exposure.
Yeah.
And I managed to get hooked up with them for a few years now, and we work with the different booths. And Dave there at Paverson, I met him, and he had kickstarted his game originally, Distilled.
Right.
And looked at it when I got the offer. I was like, hey, yeah, I'll definitely do that. And man, that was a great move.
Yeah.
He's a great team, and the game's flying off the shelves. So it's been great to be part of.
Man, Distilled's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Do you ever have to teach? You don't have to say what game, but have you ever had to like teach a game you didn't love and like spend the whole time?
Well, so far I've been fortunate to choose, and I kind of, not that I'm up on everything.
Sure.
But I'm familiar with quite a bit, and
Right.
if I'm not, I do the quick research, find, what's this new game I don't know about,
Right.
and I know what I like, and so I've been able to manage to get into a game that I know I'm going to enjoy.
Right. Yeah. That's what's been your favorite one you've done over the years. You don't have to say Distilled just because they're right over there.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I have a favorite.
Sure.
But I will say the buzz for Distilled, it really brings energy, so it makes you enjoy it more.
Right. You kind of get ramped up.
Even if it wasn't your favorite game, the fact that everyone's enjoying it,
right,
and you tend to gravitate toward it.
Yeah. You feed off everybody's energy,
Yeah.
right? You come in, somebody's high energy. You kind of a lot of people
You do.
rise to their
You
energy,
do.
right? You come in, you're like, well, you do this and you do this, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, that's no fun,
Yeah.
And when people are excited
Right.
to play a game and they pop down and
It is.
go. So what other cons? Even some of the small ones. I would say some of the small cons. They need love too.
So I hate to admit this, but I haven't made it to Gen Con yet.
You haven't.
I have not. It's so many years I've been wanting to go, but there's been circumstances that have kept me.
Sure,
and it's
sure.
not that far from me.
Right.
Even last year and this year, we had planned to go, but circumstances came up. And
So you're
it's
not
like,
going this year either?
I can't, and it's killing me because between family and other circumstances, it's like, you gotta be kidding.
It happens, man.
So the ultimate goal is to put everything aside,
right.
and next year's con's gonna happen.
Right on.
But we got some local stuff up where I live that we managed to go to. I'm hoping to get to Cincinnati and do some local stuff.
Yeah, they got like Sin City Con.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I got, my sister works down in that area, is going to be part of some local gaming that, she's going to, hopefully I can experience with them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, what's your favorite game right now?
Oh, man, that's not fair.
I know, right?
Because
you could ask me like my favorite games of all time, and depending on when you ask me, it's a different game.
Yeah,
sometimes.
and what genre.
Right, right.
So, all right, if it had to be something newer,
okay.
The Great Wall.
Oh, you like the Great Wall?
Great Wall is amazing.
That game crushed us. Now, I say that because we had a real hard time with it. I backed it. I went all in.
Yeah.
Because I Awaken Realms, right?
Yes.
And man, we played it like 5 players, and it was like long and.
So we've played it a number of times, and we've had varying results.
Sure.
But it's a neat game. I mean, the mechanic is unique.
It does things I've never seen.
Yeah,
for sure.
It does. And there's some add-ons that when you look at it, they seem daunting, but they're like 1 or 2 line sentences of rules that you sprinkle in. And you're like, Wow.
Is that like black powder? And,
Yeah, you got the black powder, you got the Iron Dragon, you
Mhm.
got the rat. I forget what it's officially
Yeah.
called, but there's some little things that, like, that's great, and it doesn't overcomplicate the game. But
Right.
the table presence is
The
amazing.
table presence is ridiculous. I mean, the fantastic miniatures when you build a wall,
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And you got your guys, and you got the horde coming in.
Yeah,
It
is.
looks amazing. And then the black powder expansion, like the
Yeah,
the
that's
minis with
cool because they got some little miniature arsenal, ladders and siege towers and different stuff that as the hordes come in, they're literally climbing or breaking down walls. I
Right.
mean, you work so hard to get them up, and they literally, so you've got to work extra hard to keep them at bay.
And do you play cooperative or semi co-op?
So we haven't really done the co-op yet.
Okay.
We've been doing the every man for themselves,
Yeah, that's
which
how
is
we've been
still
doing it.
co-op because you can't go in it like I'm going to do this myself.
Everybody can lose, but
So you
one
got to
person
work
wins.
together to a point, but it's been solo winning. But we're about to venture into some of the campaigning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and see what that's about.
How many people do you normally play with when you play?
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
And,
Is that your favorite player count? There's no wrong answer.
No,
Some
I'm
people are
trying
like,
to.
"Oh, I
I'm trying
only
to
like
think.
3 players.
I think 4. I think 5 maybe. I
Yeah.
think 5 would be my favorite
because
player
of all
count.
the interaction and the
Yeah,
spaces
it does add length to the game.
Sure.
And we always have a number around that. It's hard to get a 4.
Oh, right.
Fortunately, we manage to have groups that exceed. Some groups barely get 4,
Right.
can't even get 3,
Right.
and we struggle to keep it that low. Some of the games playing 3-player, there's not enough dynamics, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Okay. Because it doesn't get crowded enough. Right?
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
just almost just do whatever you want.
Yeah,
It's not difficult.
in my opinion.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
That's totally fair. Because there's definitely times where I forget. There's other worker placement style games, that have limited space, and if you're not playing at that higher player count to like restrict it,
Yeah,
it's like, well, what's the point of having
Yeah.
limited space? Because you just put as many guys there as you want.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I can dig that. What's one of your favorite older games?
Okay, so that's a little easier. So probably, I'd have to say, if we had to go cult classics
Yeah.
that have always been around,
Yeah.
that I was raised on, I'd have to say Risk.
Oh man,
And
Risk.
only because it is what it is. And I know it's not the most,
No,
strategic game, but it is what it is. And so I always got it. There's a special place for it in my heart, right? But I think outside of that, I'm a huge Race for the Galaxy fan.
Oh, right on. Our friend
it's-
Spencer's diehard.
Yeah,
Race for the Galaxy.
when that came out, that dynamic or that mechanic was new.
Right. Yeah.
And you're like, how do you play this? What is this? And so that just our gaming groups were enamored.
blew up.
And then of course, I got to follow up with all the sequels and all
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah,
expansions.
because and you only play with like one set of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's different arcs, and so you can decide what you want to do. But then they've got Roll Through the Galaxy
do you like Roll?
and Frontier. I tell you what, Roll, because I love dice, and
Oh,
I know
sure.
dice has that chance, but just the feel and the
Yeah,
sound.
yeah, and it's
so,
kinda fun.
I walk out by a game. You got dice in that game?
Yeah. Right. Right?
So Roll is nothing but dice.
Right.
And it's the genre, it's that race theme.
And the whole like pick and action, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then everybody gets
Yeah.
to do stuff based on the action selected. And I love that in games because you're trying to game your opponents though too. Because it's like, well, I don't want to pick if they're going to pick that, then I don't have to.
Right,
'Cause that'll
exactly.
activate.
Exactly.
So I can then do this instead.
And you're hoping.
But if they don't do it, well, that might blow up your whole turn.
It does. So, that's a little older. I mean, that's been out for a while.
yeah, no, but very popular, evergreen
51st
game. Man.
State.
Oh, I haven't played that one yet. Everybody tells me that game's
Oh,
good.
man, we have to play.
Everybody tells me that game's so good.
Now, personally, I'm a fan of the original version.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I know they've reprinted it,
Yep.
reskinned it. You got some new graphics, and they even changed the mechanics slightly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I personally love the original 51st State.
Right on.
And we play that. We play that quite a bit.
Yeah, only heard good things.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody that I talked to.
It's a card game, but it's pretty good
yeah,
for what it is. If you like that kind of thing.
I do. I mean, I go
Yeah.
all across the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like I love all kinds of games. I'll play party games with my family,
Yeah.
kids games with my kids. war games with my buddies.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, whatever. You know, and so what's your favorite thing you've seen at the show? Like, what's your favorite game? What's got you?
So, if Dave Beck's listening or watching, or I don't know if he's looming behind me, I would have to say distilled. However, it wasn't distilled.
Sure.
Though, it's a great game. Actually, there's a game here called Castlescape.
Okay, no, I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay.
I haven't walked around. I haven't
Yeah.
done.
So you got to go check it out.
Okay.
I can give you a quick, idea of what it is. It's basically Dominion,
Okay.
Carcassonne, and maybe another type of mechanic put together. And so you're building these siege walls or these walls, castle walls, to protect your area. And you get to mark it, and you get to score points.
Right on.
But to choose what to build and how many recruits to take up the space,
Right.
and whether or not you can move other people's recruits to change the map,
Right.
is all in the guard play. And then there's this back alley deal that goes on that you got corruption and infamy that affects your play, and sometimes you want a little bit of each, and other times you don't. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
Is that? Are they? Is it like out?
So that's the original game. It's out. You can buy it here.
Oh, right on.
It's about $50 some bucks. Kickstarter package.
Oh, even better.
And they're launching an expansion on Kickstarter.
Oh, very cool.
So I didn't know about the original Kickstarter. I walked by and I said, "What is this?" And we sat down and played, and it's what I thought it would be for what it is. And we played it last night.
It sounds pretty cool.
It was cool.
And
it doesn't take very long.
Castlescape.
Yeah, Castlescape.
Okay, I'm gonna look for
check
them.
it out.
I'm gonna look for them because I'm gonna get a break in a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna, like, buzz around.
Yeah, you're gonna want to try it out.
Right on. Very cool. Very cool. What else? What do you want to talk about, man? Anything in particular that you?
No. I just, it was nice to sit down with you guys. I, it's funny because, everybody asks, what do you do? Where you from? And so I want to give out my name, Mustache Meeple.
Yeah.
It's kind of my thing. I got this channel called I Always Play Yellow.
Right.
But like we said in the beginning,
you're growing it.
It doesn't even exist practically. I got a few really poorly made unboxings and some other things up there. Just because it's what I do. I started to put them up. People have been asking. That's what what I'm known at home for.
Well,
teaching games and critiquing.
You got to start somewhere, man.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
So what kind of videos are you gonna want to do as you keep going and growing it?
So one of the things we always talk about is, what's a diamond in the rough, or what's a hidden gem that no one really knows about.
Right.
And you get this game on a clearance shelf, or something on a garage sale, and you're like, why haven't I not heard of this?
Right.
And you play it, and it's fabulous. And you're like, and here, maybe 4 other games came out at the same time, and it just kind of got pushed aside accidentally.
Right.
And so we got a few like that, and I'd like to talk about those, or maybe some older games that people lost rules to, or out of print.
Right.
They're like, hey, let's talk about it. There's not a lot of coverage, and so hey, let's talk about it.
Well, that makes you unique then, right? Because you're gonna have something that nobody's seen or heard of, and or, oh yeah, I used to play that, I love it, and then that'll hook them in, you know, and stuff. Because there's so many times where, like, especially when we were first getting started, we were just reviewing games we owned.
Right.
You know? So if we got a new Kickstarter in and it's like really popular, it's like, well, we got to do that one because everybody's looking at that one.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, well, I love Lords of Waterdeep. Let's just do a video of Lords of Waterdeep, And it's like, that game's been out for ages, even when we started. But hey, we'll do a video. And then somebody's like, oh, I still love this game. Thanks for talking about it. You reminded me. I wanted to go play this, or after hearing you talk about it. And so, because sometimes them older games and even old evergreen games can get overlooked, forgotten, hit that clearance rack.
Or maybe you got, there's something you need to know about it, a certain mechanic, or you're, and you say, I wish somebody would talk about or show just this.
Right.
I want to be that forum where you could reach out and then say, yeah, and we'd produce it just for you for that. Of course, everybody could benefit.
Oh, right.
But we focused on the parts that no one's really focusing on.
Right. Right.
we break it down close versus broad.
And that again sets you aside,
Yeah.
makes you different
Yeah.
because, there's 100 million of us, so you
Right.
got to have somebody that you got to have a way.
Well, when I'm looking, that's what I look for, and it's not there.
Right.
Everyone's unboxing.
Yeah.
Everyone's got the pre-release copy
Right.
and wants to talk about how great it is. Is it really that great?
I mean, not always.
It's
depends.
not, but according to the podcast and the videos,
Right.
it is.
Right.
So,
Right.
that's what I look at when I'm really doing my research. I'm looking for specific things. I want honesty.
Right.
And sometimes it's just a review. Hey, here's what's the new. Here's
Right.
what's the great. But other times, I want to know the grit.
Sure. And there's definitely a space for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People will definitely, and you just keep working, keep grinding, and it'll build up. You're gonna get you get a following, and then they're gonna go to you for that, and then they're gonna know, like, oh man, I'm just gonna reach out to Jason, real quick, oh, I'm in his Discord group or I'm in his Facebook group, and then, and that's an awesome way to reach out, communicate with people, and do things like that, and they, and then you've got all these friends all over the place. So when you walk into a convention and they're like, oh, hey man, we've never met for real, but I'm blah, 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 and it creates such a fun experience, meeting people and, just making new friends and new people to play games with.
Yeah. Well, we've done that here already. Every year we come and it's the same thing. And you come back and you see that.
Your con friends.
Yeah.
Well, because now, when I see you at the next convention, we're both at, I'm going to be like, Jason,
hey, what's up, buddy?
Man? How's it going? And stuff. And we'll have you on our live stream and stuff.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be in touch, man. We'll make stuff happen.
Play games and, talk about games.
That's it.
Create games.
And man, I wish I was smart enough to create.
Yeah.
But I until I get to that point, I'm happy to just keep talking about it, So, all right, man. Well, I'm not going to take up much more of your time, but I appreciate you taking a few minutes to hang out with us.
Yeah, no, this is great. I appreciate it too.
And we spent, just so you guys know, the whole con we're basically booth neighbors. And so I wander over there, he wanders over here. We just start, just chatting it up.
Yeah.
And stuff. And then when you start talking about, having a channel, you're getting going and stuff. And I'm like, well, yeah, man.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's do some stuff. And I just like to get to know people too. So it's been my pleasure, Jason. Thank you so much,
mine
man.
too. Yeah.
You've been a wonderful neighbor. And I look forward to seeing you at future conventions. And we'll actually get to play games in the future.
Same.
But, all right, guys. This has been the Mustache Meeple. I always play yellow. I'm assuming when you play a game, if there's yellow pieces.
Yeah. So I don't know if you want to know the story about
that.
Yeah,
no. We're going to tell a story. Do the story, man.
So I don't mind any color, really. Every cat, everybody, I'll play out of the colors, right? If I had to pick, if black was available, black's kind of my color. One day we were sitting down playing a game. I thought I was going to get a color, and they already set me up, and it was yellow. I'm like, oh, I got yellow. Yeah, we already set you up. You always play yellow.
Oh.
I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah, don't you? I'm like, no. So this whole thing, I'm confused. Well, here's what's been going on is no one wants yellow.
No one wants yellow.
So I've always been the guy I'll just take
I'll play
whatever. So I always ended up with yellow, apparently. So finally I said, all right, fine. I always play yellow. And then it kind of stuck. So every time I play, I get yellow. And then, hey, why don't we just name it I always play yellow?
That's
kind of how that's.
funny.
Didn't really have to be yellow.
Right.
It could have been red, but that's kind of been our history here with playing games with my groups.
The rhythm of that sounds good though.
Yeah.
I always play yellow.
Yeah.
It sounds way better than I always play red. It does. It does. That
there you
yellow
go.
gives you that
bump
at the end. So it's the rhythm of that whole thing. It sounds good.
So just so you know, I always play yellow.
You don't get a choice. So if you see Jason and he's teaching a game and yellow is a color, do not ask. But seriously, guys, thank you for watching. This has been the Mustache Meeple. I've been Tim. We'll see you next time.